just realised that I'm wearing these like headphones that are like sellotaped together, and I've been meaning to get new ones for ages, and I probably would have got new ones if I knew we were gonna record a podcast. But I've kind of like dodged it and put it off. Like you'll see it on the footage. They're literally like, if I take the sellotape off, they're not usable at all. Um, yeah.
I've been meaning to
Just
get
what
a
I've
new
just
headphones as
realised.
well, but mine's just where like the left cable is kind of fucked up, and
Do you know, with headphones, like, I feel old because I don't like wireless headphones because I like the cable to be replaceable,
right.
but I want to be able to use the Bluetooth as well.
Hmm.
But everywhere it's just Bluetooth only now or wired only. It's annoying. I
Yeah.
don't. Are we going? Are we recording?
Are you recording?
I'm recording. Yeah. Is this gonna make the a podcast about headphones?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just become like headphone review channels and
Yeah. Whatever. When was the last time you did one of these? The Dreadlabs podcast.
probably over a year ago. I think one of the last ones was either with you or with Jesse, and I that was when I
Right.
still was living in, or I still live in the same apartment, but that was when I still recorded from my apartment. And
Yeah, I remember with all the plants.
yeah. And but I've been here now for at least 6 months already. So and yeah, I think it was
Well,
2021 still, right?
yeah, I worked it out last night and it's 502 or 503 days since I last spoke to you on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, because I was
Damn.
thinking when you asked me like, oh, what should we talk about? I was thinking like it'll be fine because it's not it's been ages, so they'll you've done loads, like you've got this office now. You're no longer just in your like living room in your house.
Hmm.
You're doing all the Dreadlabs music stuff as well.
Right. And there's also been a lot going on with you. Wait, shall we just do a quick little introduction before he before we continue?
Yeah, sorry, I just sat down and started talking. By the way, just so you know, I this week I've had a really bad cold, but it's okay now. But my voice sounds a little bit weird. I feel like.
Oh,
Um,
it's not too bad. Like I wouldn't have noticed if you wouldn't have told me.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, I'll let you if you want to do your intro and whatever. I'll shut up now.
All right. Well, what's going on, everyone? Tom from Dreadlabs here, together with Jack from Studio AAA. Welcome to at least the well, this is probably the second episode of the podcast of season two, if you want to call it that. Otherwise, I'm gonna continue numbering them, and I think we left off at somewhere like episode 13, 14 maybe. It's been a while, but yeah, like we said, this episode will be just a little bit of catching up, see what has been going on with Dreadlabs and what has been going on with Studio AAA, and not Album Art Archive anymore. And I think that's
But
a
it's
pretty cool
it's
spot to start off with, like the rebrand and everything that has been going on. So, yeah, can you tell me a little bit about what happened, like why the rebrand and stuff like that?
well, Album Art Archive just made like no sense, really. I feel like um, it's also like there's lots of people who follow me, and my Instagram page is kind of still well, it's everyone's Instagram pages are dead, but there's a lot of people who follow me because they thought that by following me they would get album covers on their feed every now and again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't you think that with the username?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not that now. It's like aimed at graphic designers. So I just thought having the name Studio in there is like a immediate identifier that it's not just like a curation thing or it's a creative thing first primarily. Um, and then I mean obviously the AAA bit or the AAA or the bit is self-explanatory. I made a video on the rebrand stuff and I can't think of any of it now, but there was just a lot that was really difficult um, about the old name and the old logo, but I realized at some point that it was just me making it difficult. Like it didn't have to be difficult. Um, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I know you can't see me, but I got the logo tattooed as well.
Really?
I know you
Oh,
can't see the
sick.
camera, but
Other
I'm
people on
holding it up
YouTube
now.
will be able to see that, but
I don't know if it'll get cropped, if you're gonna have to crop me to be a square, but Yeah. Um, Logos by Barbara Hernandez. I didn't make. Yeah, I got it tattooed.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, and I feel what you said with like where you're kind of lost on what you should do and what you are as a brand, and um,
Mm,
then I guess a rebrand and a new name makes sense. I've been there with like music, but like with Dreadlabs, luckily not. But I feel that like struggle of feeling like your brand and your name and what it is that you do aren't really in sync. So yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said for just like getting out of your own way
mm-hmm.
and just doing it. Like I'd thought of all this stuff months and months and months before doing it, and I'd kind of wanted to change things around for ages, but I just thought, oh well, I can't because people were. I don't know. I just thought you just think, oh, people won't let me do that, but I don't know. It's you just for me at least. I just had to get out of my own way and just do it. No one even cares. That's the thing. Like obviously, you have like this big number on your Instagram page or whatever. No one gives a fuck. Like
Yeah,
as long as you're still doing the same thing, it doesn't matter what you call it or whether you show your face or all that. None of that stuff matters. Like no one. There was a quote. Jesse posted this quote somewhere the other day, like in a poster, that said like, "You'd be surprised how little people." Wait, I'm just gonna pull it up because
yeah,
I'm gonna butcher it.
sure.
But you might have seen it. It was a quote about like you worry about how much people think of you, but they don't think about you at all.
Yeah, the person that's gonna think most about like whatever it is that you do is you. So
Yeah,
the person getting stuck with all of those struggles and that like kind of feeling of like an obligation to justify whatever it is that you do, it's only coming from one person that is you.
yeah. I'll send you it now, but it says you'd stop worrying about what people think if you realized how little they actually do. Um, so yeah, that's I rebranded. Nothing else has really changed. The rebrand went so badly anyway. Like it, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I don't know if you were. It's fine if you weren't, but I don't know if you paid much attention during that time
Yeah,
to what I
I
was
saw
doing.
like the stories and I like it just it looked like a wedding episode of like a sitcom or something like.
Yeah, it was so bad. Um, we don't have to talk about that, but
Mm,
it's going well now. I've pretty much only what's the 21st today, so pretty much between rebranding, which was September 7th, and like 3 days ago, it's like only just got back to where it was before,
really?
like
Damn.
engagement wise and like website traffic wise and stuff. But
Damn.
it's back, which is what matters. So
Mm,
I'm happy.
yeah. And of course this isn't for the long term. So, like
Mm.
what's like almost 2 months in the lifespan of like however long Studio AAA will still exist.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm still going at Christmas, and then if I am, then it was worth it.
I mean, that's a general idea, I hope, right? Like, not do a rebrand and
Yeah.
then just quit after 2 months.
Yeah, I mean that was my when I remember when I first quit my job, like I was telling myself, oh, if I can just make it till Christmas, this will be like a sick little bit of time off before I have to go back to a shitty job that I hate,
Mm.
and I'm still going.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I was thinking about because when I came on last time and like when I did Jesse's podcast
Mm-hmm.
and your podcast, I was a fucking idiot. Oh, I don't know if I can swear. I'm sorry. I'll bleep that out myself.
We'll
If
yeah, we can just edit the swear words out. So
yeah, sorry. I knew nothing. Like I was an idiot when I came on here last time, and I was an idiot when I went on Jesse's as well. Like I didn't realize how little I knew. Um, I don't think I am now, but in another year I'll probably look back and say I was. But
yeah, but I
yeah,
also
like
remember us talking about like you and me both were kind of like people on the internet trying to teach other people things, but while we were
yeah.
doing that, we were also saying like you shouldn't just you should just take everything what were saying with a grain of salt,
Oh,
and like we're just two people trying to help you, but of course you don't have to like follow everything step by step 100% if you think, or if you have a different opinion on things, or if you think you can do it in a better way, you know. So
Yeah,
and I think that's always the case, you know, like there's no one, and especially on the internet, that knows everything and does everything correctly, you know.
yeah. I thought you were gonna say we're two people on the internet trying to teach people things, but we don't know anything. I thought that's what you were gonna say, so I was laughing. But yeah, like that with the rebrand though, like it's just I've learned a lot, and um, I can now do everything under this one name. I don't have to. So before there was the Instagram page called Skintrest, and
Oh right,
then
yeah.
there was like me as like a person on Twitter, and then there was this website. Fuck me as well. The website. Oh, sorry, I'm swearing again.
That's okay.
But the website albumartarchive.store. What a mouthful that was. And when I had to say that to people in real life, I just felt like an idiot because
It's there's no like way to spell it wrong, but you're gonna get scared that people are going to spell it wrong when you say it out loud, right? Like it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's my accent, but every single person, if I say that name to them and they don't already know, their reply is, "What did you say? Album archive?" And I have
Oh
to be
my
like,
god.
"No, album art." But it was my fault. Um, New name's much better, easier. I actually get more replies. Like if I'm cold emailing now to people, the studio AAA.com
Hmm.
email address gets replied to a lot more, even if it's the same email,
Okay.
than the old one. And I'm guessing it's just because people were like spelling it wrong when they were replying, or they just thought, "What kind of fucking scam URL is this?"
Yeah,
Uh,
but maybe even
yeah,
like because of the length of the URL, that like maybe some spam filters or something think it's like a bot website or something maybe. I don't know how
yeah.
any of that works, but
I don't know, but yeah, that's the rebrand. Um,
hmm.
I can't remember what your question was, but
All right,
yeah,
so we were just like, yeah, this is just gonna be us catching up, basically. Not, I don't really want to do interview format podcasts anyway.
I
Like,
know.
it's
Yeah,
like I really enjoy Jesse's podcast, but I think if I would be doing a format like that, I would be just kind of making the same podcast as him, so there wouldn't be any like. And I think his podcast is way more valuable because there's more guests on there, more, and Jesse's way more experienced in doing this than I am right now. Because yeah, he's been doing like, has he hit 100 episodes already? I think so,
I
right?
don't know. I think he's stopping at 100 episodes
Ah,
though.
right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like taking a break, but also like I mean, people might know, but we kind of keep up anyway. Like
Hmm.
it's not like the first time I came on your podcast, I was kind of just getting to know you, but
Yeah, I think
um,
we talked like once before that, maybe like on a call,
yeah,
right?
yeah, but yeah, um, I could just sit and chat to you about nonsense anyway,
Yeah.
and I don't know if people would watch it, but
It will probably be pretty funny. I remember you doing the what was it? Yeah, you used to do like the Discord, like
the Q&A,
yeah.
yeah,
And then you also did
that
like the the one where you did a live stream where you did like I don't know how many like gradient map artworks, but
100, yeah, that was a bad time. I I would unmoderated and like without anyone else there, I'll sit there and just talk and talk and talk. I remember the last live stream I ever did, and I stopped live streaming because of this, is do you know what Little Britain is?
Little Burn,
Little Britain.
Britain. It's like a TV show, right?
Yeah. So it's an old TV show. Some of the bits are like still funny today, but then I was a kid when I was watching it. Some other bits are extremely offensive and like insensitive.
Right.
And anyway, I can't remember how it came up, but I really love like 2000s stuff. Anything pre 2010, post 2000, like I love all that stuff.
Hmm.
And I was talking about Little Britain on a live stream for some reason, and then in my head I was like, oh no, people are gonna think that I was talking about the offense. I won't say what the offensive bit is because I imagine YouTube's algorithm will just kill this video if I do. Um, People will know if they've seen it, and I'll tell you. But yeah, and then I was just so paranoid for like 2 or 3 days. Then when I went to do another live stream, I was just so in my head about like, oh, don't mention, I
Don't
don't
mention
know.
Little Britain.
So yeah, don't mention Little Britain or don't
That's so
don't say.
specific. Even like,
But that's why I stopped because I was like, what if someone thinks I was talking about? Well, yeah, I'm not very good with paranoia, and I'm not very good with just just being able to speak unmoderated. Like I'll just go on and on and on about. We end up somewhere. Please interrupt me now because
well,
we'll end up
I'm
somewhere
thinking
like.
about like how like I've been getting back to live streams since this month because for the longest time we didn't have a stable internet connection in my studio because this is
Mm,
basically built in a vault, and there were the only way in and out is like this super heavy door. So there was this, and the walls were really thick, so we had to like drill like a really big hole into like
jeez,
the wall in order to get cables to come through. We didn't even have power in here, so it
damn.
took quite a bit of time in order to get that fixed. But now that I'm getting back to it, and then it's been like at least half a year, maybe longer, since I did the last live stream, and
Yeah,
it's just I just uh, it's been I have to relearn how to talk to myself while live streaming.
mm,
Like for example, I was just doing this live stream the other day, and I needed to select like a very specific set of polygons on like a 3D model, and I was just like so focused on clicking on there that I just completely lost like the
yeah,
ability to talk. So and I remember having that struggle in the beginning as well, but then I kind of got good at it, and then yeah, you have to kind of keep live streaming in order to, or at least I have to keep live streaming in order to maintain that skill, I guess.
yeah. It's awful when you're live and like you do it because obviously design is not inherently just entertaining. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't when you're doing something like that and then there's a pause and then in your head you're like, oh, there's a pause now. I need to say something, but then you're like, if I say something
Yeah.
stupid, it's just gonna be like so awkward and cringeworthy. Yeah, it's not easy. I used to not you or not anyone in particular, but I used to think before I did live streams like why is this person doing a live stream on this really weird, specific, easy design thing, or like an
Mm.
easy tutorial. But now I'm like, it's so hard to even it's hard to talk for 10 minutes about like something I do all day, every day. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I it kind of answered that question anyway.
Yeah, it's you're essentially doing two things at once, even though it doesn't look like it, because like it doesn't seem like it's the hardest thing to keep talking, but it's kind of like a downward spiral as well, because I feel like when I'm not
Mm,
talking about something, the people listening in don't have anything to type out in the chat, and that's when and then I cannot
mm.
reply to anything in the chat. So it's like kind of like a downward spiral of everything slowly getting more
Yeah,
silent and silent. And
I remember once I was. Oh, sorry, go on. I thought you were done. Sorry.
oh no, it's fine.
I remember once because when I was on Twitch, I didn't really like. I knew, but I didn't really think about the fact that some people who come into the chat might not come from my Instagram link or my Twitter
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever. They might just be. So I was doing something in Photoshop and someone came in and they were like, "Oh, is this real art or is it digital art?"
What?
Straight away. But they were just like some kid from Twitch just scrolling through. And I was like, fuck you. Who are you? I literally said this. I was like, I've made 500 album covers. Who are you? And then afterwards, I was like, no. Why did I say that?
That's so aggressive. But yeah, but
It's
also
just
like the I can it if the question would have come from like a person who actually knew you, then the question would be really really offensive. So I know where you're coming from, and that's I've
yeah.
got so many
It's
questions
just
like where it's like what are you doing? Like and at first I'm always thinking like what does it look like I'm doing, you know? Like but if you don't know, and I just
Yeah,
pop up on
you
YouTube
think
Home or
it, but I would
something.
have just said it.
Yeah.
I would have just said that. Like, yeah, not for me, live streaming. It's not easy though, like credit to anyone who does it. It's not easy.
It's also like sometimes you have to be also have a lot of patience because there's been live streams where I have to where I've pretty much answered the same question maybe 8 or 9 times within like 2 hours. So like and just simple questions like what software are you using or why are you using Cinema 4D over Blender or like one of those
Mm,
basic questions, and it's probably like an easy question for people to ask in order to engage with me during a live stream. So I don't really blame them, but so yeah, you have to
yeah.
have the patience to keep answering the same question over and over again.
Are you on TikTok for your design stuff?
I have a TikTok account with Dreadlabs. I've posted a couple of things, but I've been really too swamped really to post all of my content on there. And
Yeah.
I did this with Reels because it's easy to plan or sorry Shorts on YouTube because it's easy
Mm,
to plan in the Shorts on YouTube. And I think it took me like um, a full day, and I think this was in July. And basically, all of the reels that I haven't posted on YouTube yet, I just planned in one every week, and I think like I have a YouTube short posting every day, every week until like
damn.
January or something. And doing this on
Yeah,
TikTok,
I
I
wish
probably can
Instagram
just
would
post
let me
for like
do
a
that.
year or something.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say on TikTok, the the level of like experience of the people that will engage with design content on TikTok is so they're so much lower like experience wise that
Yeah, I remember
people
that
are
whole thing with Jesse where he made a Japanese bootleg cover with an obi strip, and the
yeah
whole thing was just a discussion about someone who didn't actually knew what an obi strip was, explaining to Jesse that it's corny to use an obi strip. So yeah, it's
mm, yeah. I mean the kind of questions you get on TikTok though are just like I can't think of any now. I mean there's one guy who's like, oh, how did you get that rectangle at the start? And it was just me drawing a rectangle shape with
oh
the
damn,
Photoshop shape tool. Um, I'm just like, where did these people come from? And then I always have to remember, like, I always assume everyone who knows who I am just knows from when I had that like 6 month period on Instagram where anything I posted did really well,
yeah.
and that's kind of when I got most of the followers. Um, and it's same with Twitter. Like, I always just assume everyone knows exactly like where everything came from, and I know this isn't like what you're asking me, but that's kind of another reason I rebranded is because I like kind of realized that some people just found me on Twitter and my Twitter is just Jack and AAA.
Oh
So
yeah,
they'll just be like this guy called Jack on Twitter rather than actually knowing.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, yeah, the internet's a weird place. You attract some weird, funny
Hmm.
people.
And the thing is, like, I think I have a little bit less cases of that because like when on YouTube like content is a little bit more stretched out, and if you do like a very quick like TikTok reel short or whatever you want to call it, I always felt like that it's just not enough space in the video and like length on like a 1 minute mark to explain something
Mm,
like actually like good. For example, like most of the reels I see on Instagram, I don't want to badmouth anyone, but they don't
do
explain
it.
a lot. It's just like showing clicking on a mouse or something, and that's okay because I know what they're
Mm,
doing. But I can imagine if you're completely new to Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever, you have no clue what they're doing, and that's luckily when with YouTube, there's I actually have the time to explain what a tool does, or like it's a little bit more slow
yeah.
paced, and that's I think that works a little bit better if you're coming into like design completely blind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who do a really good job of like TikTok tutorials for design
Hmm.
stuff. I wouldn't be able to fit it into a minute or however long.
Me neither.
Even
I've
I've
tried
started,
so hard, but it's like for me, it's like undoable.
yeah, I've started uploading YouTube videos now, just on stuff that I get emailed about a lot, so that I can just send a video rather than explaining the whole thing in an email.
Mm.
But when I do a YouTube video, to go through and cut out like not joking like 100 little segments of me just going and like reels and TikTok doesn't let you do that yet, like it's not for me. But I was gonna say Instagram, like the tutorial stuff that's not what they want. They want. There's this one guy on Instagram. I just got my phone to try and find him. Um, and he is 1 second, Alessio Barando.
Hmm.
Um, he
The name rings a bell.
his work is really good. The videos he makes, like, they're not tutorials. They'll show his process and stuff,
Oh,
but
right, yeah.
I feel like he is like he's exactly what Instagram would want from Reels, because like he'll do the video of like him getting in a lift. He'll put his phone in the lift,
Hmm.
go outside the lift, press the button again, walk in, kind of look at the camera, and then it'll cut to him at his desk in Cinema 4D doing whatever, and then it'll cut to him like holding the poster, like posing with it, and I can't do any of that stuff, man.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna cringe at myself so much
Yeah.
doing any of that stuff. Credit to him though, like it's all good. His stuff. I'm not saying that he should cringe or anything.
No, I
Um,
know what you mean. Like I'm not sure how old he is, or but I'm always like looking at myself and I'm getting like a little bit insecure because I'm like I'm too old to do this or something. That's
you're
how I
not.
feel. Yeah.
You're definitely not. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and but I mean I tried to dabble around in that a little bit, and I tried to put a little bit more effort in the edits of like tutorials I made, or like videos with I think would be valuable information, but it's
Mm,
like there's no I don't get anything out of it, and that's no disrespect to anyone on Instagram, but to me, like I actually, if there's an income for Dreadlabs or for me, basically, I need to do it on YouTube because there's ad revenue there. People get linked to Patreon
mm,
files there. So like if I make a tutorial and I need to like make a living out of something like making that
yeah.
content, it's just like 250,000 plays on a reel is not going to pay my bills, like. And
250,000 plays on a reel is like 25 people actually engaging sometime. I know, I mean, I don't mean likes and comments. I mean like going and clicking on the thing
yeah,
in your bio.
and
But it like you have to jump through so many hoops, man. You can't even say download this, buy this,
no, because when
link
you
the links
do a
in my
call to action,
bio.
it's not getting anywhere.
Yeah, the AI thing they've got picks it up and it just kills it.
Hmm.
Even when I did the rebrand, the like announcement post, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to make the announcement post a reel if I actually want people to
Hmm.
see it. So I uploaded it. Um, I spent ages making like this little weird edit on my phone. Uploaded it, and then without thinking, I wrote studio.aaa.com in the caption,
Oh no.
and I checked back after like 10 minutes, and I was like, why is this post like so dead? And then I realized, and I had to sit there and do the whole thing again.
Yeah, I've had the same thing, and I think it's still one of my pinned posts just because I'm like so fed up with Instagram because it was a time lapse of like a rave flyer, and I was like, I
Mm.
know that this style of flyer would be like interesting for a lot of people that follow me because I've been getting questions about it and stuff like that. And but it was like actually like the reel is an ad for a Patreon video, so I'm pretty sure I have like a call to action, like, do you want to know how to do this, then go to my Patreon or something. And you just know that the
Yeah,
AI saw that and noticed it and then just like never showed it to anyone, and it's still pinned, and I think it's still not past 2,000 views, like. It's
yeah,
insane.
it's hard. Yeah, I mean, I know there'll be some people who watch this, or people who, some people who their reels just seem to do well, or their post just seems to do well, and they write the URL or they write link in bio and
Mhm.
stuff, and I don't know. I know that it's easy to be really cynical about like the algorithm and just really pessimistic about it all. So I know that like if you're watching this and you have like 1,000 followers or whatever, and you don't get anywhere near the engagement that you or I get, Tom.
Mhm.
Like I know it'll be hard for those people to not think shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course, of
yeah.
course. Yeah, but that's also like the reason why I did like the whole move to Discord thing, because I felt like I
Mm,
was kind of neglecting my own Discord server, and I was just thinking there's so many like talented and interesting people in there that are already like willing to to be a part of the Dreadlabs community, and then I wasn't really like paying attention. I was only like worrying about getting new people like engaged to Dreadlabs, and I was like,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, it's definitely not
The
worth like putting so much time and effort in something that's not gonna give you something back the way that like a Discord community could,
mm,
you know?
yeah, I mean, I'm saying all this, but I still make reels. But the 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 reels people, I feel like if you have 100,000 followers and you post a reel and it gets 100,000 views, the chances of those 100,000 views coming from actually from your 100,000 followers is so slim.
Yeah,
It's you're reaching. You might reach, I don't know, if you reach 1 million people a month with reels, them 1 million people might never see you again
yeah,
because the engagement is so. What's There's a saying that as wide as an ocean but as deep as a puddle,
right,
whereas
right.
something like Discord or a newsletter or a mailing list or whatever, it might be a smaller pool, but there's people who will sit and read your whole newsletter, engage in your Discord every day, and that's when it's the other way, like
Yeah.
as wide as a puddle but as deep as an
That's
ocean or
actually, yeah, that's
whatever.
a really nice way of putting it. It's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's I feel like if you want to build your own community, or if you wanna have like deeper interaction or with potential clients or whatever, then I would definitely
mm,
like recommend doing either of those things for the people listening. You know, like
yeah,
I know you do a lot with that already, and I do it a lot, and I think Jesse also has his like own newsletter as well, right?
yeah. Harry Vincent has one as well.
Mm,
Sam Thomas has one. Glasses, where he does these really cool album cover reviews.
right.
Yeah, it seems like this year, like a lot of people have started doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Like mine started this year.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on with me, so like I'm kind of like falling behind on all of those things, like getting engaged with like other people, but also like doing that stuff
Mm.
myself, because there's so many things that I want to do, or that I do, and then once I get into it, you know, like I almost immediately I'm really scared that I do like one or two of those and then like never touch it again. And
Yeah,
that's a very like yeah, that's bound to happen when you do like a lot of things all at once. But yeah,
yeah. I always feel like I never see you on Twitter. You need to be on Twitter more.
yeah, it's like I sometimes when a new video goes online, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to forget to tweet this. But every time I open Twitter, that's like I've been like trying to get it. It's really hard, of course, because my job mainly is being involved in social media. But
Mm.
it's every time I open Twitter, there's like a fight going on, and there's people complaining, and then I just open it. I scroll like for 5 minutes, and like I don't want to be a part of this because I was just having like a nice day, and now I'm like
I
angry
love
and
Twitter. Yeah, I know it can definitely do that. I love Twitter though. Like
I mean,
I just
I mean, you're constantly like joking and stuff, so it's really like I will always like you're probably the person that pops up in my feed the most next to
really.
yeah. So that's like so it's really fun to just see like the no offense, but the dumbest tweets, you know, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
Gaussian blur
course, yeah,
tweets and stuff. Like I
yeah.
love those, and then once I like start scrolling past those, then like, all the fighting and complaining comes, and then I just close it off again.
Well, Twitter is like volume. Like you can shit post as much as you want. You can post as much nonsense as you want, and then you can post the video or whatever. I wish Instagram or other platforms would let you do that more.
Hmm.
Like I can sit and tweet about Gaussian blur memes all day, but then if I announce something on Twitter or whatever, people still see it. That's why I like Twitter.
Yeah, but I
I
think the
know what you
main thing
mean
is
though.
because it's text based, you know.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's like pretty hard to come up with an Instagram post in the time it takes you to come up with a tweet, but it's definitely worth it. Like a lot of people complain about the Twitter engagement and stuff, but those people often are not on Instagram, so they don't know
Welcome
how
to the
bad it can
welcome to
get.
the club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You should just honestly, what I do is I will sit sometimes for a day, no, not a day, an hour maybe, and I'll just schedule in like a month of just nonsense tweets, and every now and again I just look at my phone and I have like a gazillion notifications because something I tweeted about graphic design like got like thousands of likes or whatever, and then I can go and drop a little ad below it
Right.
for my website. So yeah, it's worth putting time into. I think you should do it. Everyone's leaving Twitter. Obi and Japari left Twitter. Caroline left Twitter. You don't tweet anymore. I
Right.
feel like I'm just on my own. Everyone,
I mean,
I'm
I'm
always
kind of
telling
still
people to come
lurking
back.
some from time to time, but it's have you like seen the meme? Like speaking of like shit posting, have you seen like the meme things on my Discord? Like the
No, I
whole
haven't
Ice Age
actually.
baby thing. I feel like I should kind of like explain that because it's
Uh,
kind of like growing. But there's okay, so there's this person in my Discord
is
server.
there a meme channel that I should look at or no?
Yeah, but there like a lot of it is posted in like in general as well. But
Right.
so there was this person in my Discord, and at some point they just posted like a comment on one of my random YouTube videos, like horse question mark, and I was like, okay, that's probably like a bot. And then I went into the Discord server, and this I think it's the same person like posted something like, "What's going on, everyone? Tom here from Dreadlabs. Today I'm gonna harvest some good horses." And I was like, "What is this?" Uh, and then like there was like a month of silence, and then at some point they just started posting like you've seen Ice Age, right? Have
Yeah.
you seen it like that human baby that they have to rescue in the first movie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he just edited that photo where like he now has blonde hair on top and has a chain and the Dreadlabs logo on his shirt, and he was just like posting and referencing it to me and doing this like this ear rape overly distorted Dreadlabs intro with a picture of that or something, and so I was like, oh, do you?
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
My sense of humor is like just corrupted by the internet.
it's so it's like so surrealistic, but and then at some point like it became a thing because like yeah I thought it was the funniest thing ever, and then he just like did one of these edits where I think Ariana Grande became the new face of Givenchy, like the fashion brand, and then he just edited my Ice Age baby thing on top of that as well, and it's the best thing ever. But
The harvest some horses thing.
yeah,
Oh, I found the message. Hi, this is Tom from Dreadlabs. I'm working on a new brush pack and I need $15 to harvest some good horses. Here's the proof. I love stuff like that.
but it's also like obviously there's nothing like business related to that in there, but it's probably one of the most connected, one of the things that has connected me with the Dreadlabs community the most, like like shit posts like these and like
Yeah,
nonsense,
for me it's the Gaussian blur thing.
yeah. How did that
Um,
start actually?
people, I just fucking hate Gaussian blur. Oh, I keep swearing. I'm really
That's
sorry.
okay.
I I hate Gaussian blur. It's the worst blur. Objectively, it is a bad blur. You cannot argue that it's good. It's Gaussian means normal, right?
Yeah,
So it's just a flat blur. It's like there's nothing to it. Like at least with depth of field or like a tilt shifty type lens blur, or even if you kind of blur your eyes, it's not um I don't know. It's Gaussian blur's rubbish, right? But I tweeted, this is such an obscure reference. So I used to make music,
right.
and when I made music, it was under the Skintrest
Yeah.
alias. And um, I'm not saying like I was part of this or anything, but do you know who Umru is?
No.
Well, he's a music producer. And there's a few other people that like. If you've not heard of Umru, you won't have heard of these other people. But they were tweeting something about um, audio engineering, and they were saying how some particular uh, DAW, or I can't remember what that stands for. You know, the
Yeah,
software,
yeah, yeah.
DAW software, DAW. Some software or something is biased. It's like a biased audio interface or something. But they made it up. And you know how you'll know from making music, there's hundreds of like people online who are way into like all their music
Hmm.
hardware and technology and stuff, and they like took the bait, and it was just all of my feed for like a week one time in like 2016 about biased doors or biased plugins or audio interfaces or whatever, where this like little small group of producers were just trolling these older like boomer audio tech guys. And anyway, I don't know why, it just like that's always stuck with me. I just thought it was really funny. So one day I just tweeted Gaussian blur uses a biased blur engine as like a reference to that. Um, and people were like really upset with me because they love Gaussian blur, but no one ever was like, "There's no such thing as a biased blur engine."
Of course there
Whereas
isn't.
when no, because there isn't. But when the original like that I'm referencing in my head, they weren't arguing that this thing wasn't biased. They were saying, "You idiot! There's no such thing as a biased audio interface or whatever." If I remember right, anyway, I think that's what. So that's in my head. I was like, "Oh, everyone just believes me now that there is a biased blur engine, but Gaussian blur is not using that." So I just kept tweeting it and kept. But I do legitimately dislike Gaussian blur though. Like I do think it's purely functional. Like it's not.
It's just quick.
But you should only really use it to like add a glow maybe, or well I'm not going to sit here and gatekeep blurs, but I think it's bad. I use it though, like I use it, but not for blurring stuff. Like if I wanted like a nice like cinematic depth of fieldy blur, I would not go to Gaussian
I
blur.
usually go with like the field blur for that because it gives you
Hmm.
so much more control.
Yeah, yeah, or box blur,
Right.
or motion blur, or you can list them all. But yeah, it's
Award-winning
like a
blur.
funny way to connect with people. Yeah, that too, the award-winning design studio thing. Part of me, with the rebrand, I was gonna change the name I was gonna change everything to just be under the name award-winning design studio because I thought that would be really funny. But it's
So
like,
that's one of the A's in AAA stand for award, or
no, I mean, just I thought, yeah, it's funny, but people really gonna click up, like go to that URL or
yeah, that might be a problem.
hire me. Yeah, so I didn't do that. But
Yeah,
yeah, so there you go. So there's an example of me just talking for like however long because you didn't interrupt me.
it's okay, man. I mean, like it's yeah, like I said, this is just catching up. So I've been really curious about what you've been up to, and like, like you said in the beginning, we haven't really talked for a long time.
Mm.
So it was also like, it's fun to hear about these kind of random things that we have been experiencing and we have been seeing from each other, but we haven't really talked about it in person. So it's really nice to do that.
Yeah, it's good. We should in another 6 months or something, we'll do another. Well, it's just not talk for ages now,
Yeah,
and then
we'll just like
you
cut off all contact and then
then you get a good podcast episode
yeah, you should definitely
out of
come
it.
over to the office at some time, man. Like
Yeah,
we've been
I
doing
want
the
to.
open offices and it's been so much fun, like meeting new people and actually like talking to designers in real life and stuff. So I think
Yeah,
it would be just really insightful to have like actual people that I've been meeting over the internet to over here, you know?
yeah. I really want to. I really want to. This year though, uh, my kitchen ceiling collapsed. Um, all this the rebrand went really really wrong, and like that combined with a few other things, like I'm just so broke.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
So
I can imagine.
I've been telling you like, oh, I'm gonna come to Netherlands, but
I mean,
I
we were
just
still talking while it was COVID as well, right? So there was. It's
mm,
also like even if you weren't like having like money issues, it's probably we probably wouldn't have planned anything just because wouldn't really know whether
mm,
everything would open up this year or not. You know, like I don't know if
yeah,
is it still a problem in the UK, COVID or
um, probably, but they don't acknowledge it, and it certainly wouldn't stop me from
right?
traveling or whatever.
Yeah,
I know you didn't mean it like that, by the way, but I'm good money
Oh
wise.
yeah,
I
sorry,
don't want
yeah.
anyone. I don't want anyone watching to think like I'm not. I'm still making more than my minimum wage job I was in years ago, so I'm good. But yeah, it's more just like less COVID, more Brexit, and more terrible economy.
Right.
Uh, Energy bills, like energy bills are insane here
Yeah.
right now. It's stuff like that. I'll come eventually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean, like the
2040 when I'm finally in a good
Studio
spot.
A. Awesome, man. All right. Do you have anything else we should talk about?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think we've been going for like 40 minutes, but
Right.
um, I mean, this is the first one you've done in a while. Like,
Hmm.
what about the Dreadlabs music stuff?
Right. So this will probably go up as a second episode of season two because the first one is like me kind of catching up and stuff. So I might have just explained it a
Oh, so
little
you've
bit in the
already done
first.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like in short, like I've been, yeah, we both have actually been like music producers before we did this, and
Mm.
I
I
just
think
wanted to do
you're
more with
better
it.
than me though.
I'm
I was
I'm
rubbish
not the
at it.
best. So I'm more of like a jack of all trades, but a master of none, I guess. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something that I've been really getting back into, and especially now that I have my recording studio where I can actually make proper music instead of like doing it from my living room, and I've been getting into like
Mm.
analog synthesizers and stuff like that, and so yeah, and I was like, and of course the initial idea was for Dreadlabs to be like a multidisciplinary platform, and it kind of like
Yeah.
slid into graphic design by default or something, but so that's why we launched the music platform, and it's been really fun, inviting all these different DJs and having like a DJ set in front of the green screen in our office, and like
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Is it just your office or is it like a shared thing?
So it's like a really big building here, and it used to be like I don't know if you have those in the UK, but here in the Netherlands you can just like like donate your clothes to like poor countries, and then like they get packed and
Yeah, we have
recycled
that.
there, like stuff like that. So that's what this building
Mm.
used to be like back in the 60s, 70s, I feel like. And then
Right.
there was this guy, and he just revamped the whole thing by himself together with one other person. And basically now it's like a really large place with all of these smaller units inside where all these startup creative companies can rent an office for quite like it's really affordable here. And
Yeah.
so I'm renting out this old vault, which is the recording studio, and then I also have an office. That's probably the one you've seen in like the open office reel and on my stories where I have like the
Mm.
graffiti wall, and that's mine. And then there's 6 desks in there, and I have like people doing their thesis for Dreadlabs. I have 2 interns now, and also like
Damn.
some people that they do some freelance stuff for me, but then they also rent out the desk from my office. So
Right.
like I can work with them for a discount. They do the work for a discount in order for them. They can just work there on their other stuff as well, and so it's really nice because you have like a very it's not crowded or something, but it's nice to have like people with other disciplines to like it's also very nice to just not work alone, of course, but it's also
Yeah.
nice to like
Yeah.
show people whatever you're up to, and then like them showing whatever you're up to.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was nearly there. Like I was getting to the point where I could almost get there last year, like end of last year. Um, like I'm still. I don't want to. I feel bad saying had, but um, a freelancer working with me who I fully intend on working with again and stuff. But when your ceiling collapses, like it's pretty hard to
Hmm.
still do all that stuff. But yeah, I'm really happy for you. Like it's really cool to see how far you've come.
Thanks, man.
Hopefully next time we speak, I'll be sort of back close to that
Yeah,
again,
back
like
on
where I
track.
was last year. Yeah, that's what I feel like now. Like being here just on my own, like at my desk all the time. It's just it's great. I don't have to go to an office. Like I'm not going. It's better than my last in real life office job,
Hmm.
but there's definitely something to be said for like just someone to just talk nonsense to. It doesn't even have to be about your work
Yeah.
or just like getting up and just having to see other people
Right.
on your way into work or
Yeah, and there's also
yeah,
the thing
just
of like
stuff like
getting
that.
out of your because your office in your house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I like my office is like a 15-minute ride by bike. So
Mm,
like it's always also nice to have at least a little bit of
that's
exercise every
perfect.
day, and it's not too far
Yeah,
away. So it also feels like, oh, I'm actually going to work and I'm getting back home, where I can actually
yeah.
relax, you know. So
I really, 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 really want to get something similar to what you've got.
right,
Um,
but it's also like it comes with
Hopefully
some
one day.
downsides as well, you know, like for example, once sometimes it can be like a little bit busy, and like you if we need to focus or something, like I have the privilege to go back into my studio, but sometimes I
Mm,
want to be among people and work instead of like closing myself off in the studio, or you know, like, so
yeah,
it's kind of hard to find that balance a little bit. But yeah, that's
yeah,
something I think that comes with time, you know, like you just need to like that's something you need to learn over time, I think, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah. I think it'll. I don't know. I'm sure in like a year you'll be like, yeah, we just opened another office. I'm like, oh, I'm still in my room, but
I mean, I do have some plans here, but it's all like thoughts, you know. Like I would love to rent out a little bit larger space and have like multiple this multidisciplinary freelancers work together there, and not only for me, but just
mm,
for the sake of like everyone working together as a collective or something, you know. But yeah, those are just like things that I think about, but it's not like I have an actual idea for that yet, you know.
yeah, it's. I feel like like if you've lived through COVID and you've not been going out to work every day, I feel like it's like warped my perception of time and like my social perception of things too. Because I was quite happy to sit at home just doing graphic design all day because I'd just spent 3 years having to go into a call center every day
Yeah,
and absolutely hating it. But now I'm like what you said about meeting people in real life and speaking to people and stuff. This year, the Sam who I mentioned before, who has the newsletter,
hmm
a few times over the summer, I just went into Leeds, which is the nearest town to me, just for no reason other than to just get a coffee,
right.
speak to him for a bit, um, buy some Pokemon cards, and then when I'd come back the next day and just do work, like it would be the best thing I'd done in like a month.
Yeah, it feels, but it
Um,
also feels like you're having just like a day off, like a little mini vacation, you know.
yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I could go on about it forever, but like there's so many. I don't know about you, but like, is your office near like any shops or like
Yeah, it's like a
cafe?
small 10-minute walk from like a small like shopping center, and there's like a cafe
Mm,
there and stuff. But the thing is here, it's really built to socialize with other people renting out other offices. So there's like this giant
right.
hall where there's like a ping pong table and an air hockey table. There's like a bar
Okay,
there,
that's
so
cool.
we're gonna grab a beer later today probably. Maybe
There's
with
a
some other.
bar.
Yeah, yeah. There's also a
That's
guy here who has
sick,
his own food blog, and there's like a lot of like food companies like sending him stuff. So that's also really nice because we can all profit from that.
man. I just want to move now. I want to move to. Is it Tilburg you're in?
Yeah,
It's not Amsterdam. I always say Amsterdam. Um, yeah. Like another thing for me is I know I would just be spending all my money at like whatever local cafe and I'd find it hard to save and stuff. I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't know. I've been
Some
getting pretty frugal. So it's like I impulsively bought like synthesizers that would be 400, 500 euros before, but now I don't do that anymore.
yeah, when you said analog synthesizers, I just remembered when I was at uni in like the first week because in the UK you get a student bank account
Mhm.
which comes with an overdraft. Mine was like £800, so like the first week I spent all my student loan and I was like, oh well, I've got an overdraft, so technically I still have £800 left. And I went and bought a synthesizer, a Korg synthesizer. Then like I like played it like once,
Oh
and then
no.
was just like, nah, I don't really like that. And then for the rest of like that term or semester, my girlfriend was like buying all my food. I couldn't afford like energy, electricity bills or anything.
Oh my god.
It's a slippery slope. Right now, for me, I know you can't see, but for me now, it's just like Pokemon cards. I have so many of them. You can't see them on the screen, but that's what I have to like stop myself from. If Sam's watching this, I've not seen Sam in a while because every time I go to meet up with him, I'm like, oh, I'll just pop in and buy some Pokemon cards, and then they have like a cool. I go in like, oh yeah, I'll just spend like £3 and get one little pack, but then they have like a cool big one that's £40, and I'm like, well,
Ooh.
I have £40. I could buy that.
Yeah, that's a slippery
Yeah,
slope, man. Like I like looking
yeah.
at your bank account and like, okay, the money is here, you know? Like it's probably not the
Mm,
best if I spend it, but it's here.
yeah. Um, but yeah, that's like I feel like that's the struggle right now. I think last time we spoke, was it June 2021? So
Something
the
like that, I
UK
think.
was
Yeah.
like the UK was out of COVID. I'm doing quotation marks, but not really. So I was still being really careful. So I still had like an excuse to be in all the time and stuff. But now, sometimes now my girlfriend is just like, you need to get out. Like why? I'll be sat at my desk for like a whole day and just get nothing done. She's like, why don't you just go out today? Like why don't you just go for a walk or
Hmm.
so that's the struggle right now.
Yeah.
Like trying to like socially adapt back to
Yeah,
not being like a little.
I think it really helps if you schedule that in, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just want like everything you just described is like I want all that stuff so bad. But I know if there was a bar at my work, it wouldn't. There'd be no more asset packs. There'd be no more no clients getting emails if there was a bar. Um, yeah, I'm really happy for you, mate. Honestly, that all that stuff is so cool.
Thanks, man.
I can't wait to see where you're at next time I speak to you, or next year or whatever.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here.
I'll still be here. I'll just have more Pokemon cards.
No, man. I think Studio AA has a really big potential to grow because yeah, it's insane how much you've grown even like in the last few months with Instagram. Like I've been seeing it and I've been trying to do the same, but for me it doesn't work. But it's really cool to see that you've
Yeah.
been growing on your own platform, and I feel like it's always been that way. Of course, like you've been like really big on Instagram, and for me it was more of a YouTube thing. So it's yeah,
Mm.
it's cool to see that we're both like on that same grind, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I mean, right now I kind of like I don't really it sounds bad and I almost don't want to say it, but I really don't care about Instagram followers
Mm-hmm.
or Twitter followers or anything like the most I don't want to ask anyone to engage in anything like if you like something, go download it or buy it or whatever. Or if you don't like it, I don't care. But the most meaningful way that you can like engage, I'm doing more quotation marks with anything I'm doing is just like sign up to the mailing list because I put everything in there. Whereas with Instagram, I can't put everything on Instagram
Right.
because they'll just kill it. Um, or just sign up to my website or just bookmark my website. Unfollow me on Instagram, unfollow me on Twitter. Don't ever read an email again, but just bookmark my website and you'll get everything then. Like I don't care. I care more now about like my own platform. Instagram is dying.
Right.
I could just delete my profile tomorrow. We don't know if will come back and be amazing again, but
For
if you sign
now,
up to my
yeah.
website and you're on my mailing list, then you'll hear about everything, and that's like way more valuable than you seeing one in every 10 Instagram posts that I make.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I appreciate like I appreciate the compliment. I just it's not you know it's not it doesn't even matter now like
Yeah.
how many Instagram followers you've got. Um, it's just
Yeah.
yeah, I
It
don't,
feels kind of
it's
pointless or
just
something, yeah.
nonsense. It's just noise. It's just yeah, like um yeah, I don't know how to say it without just sounding super ungrateful because ultimately I wouldn't have like a career. I'm doing more quotation marks, but I wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for Instagram. But I focus more on when it comes to numbers and like metrics and stuff. I focus more on things that I own. So like
Yeah.
how many people have signed up to my website, how many people downloaded my new thing or whatever.
Yeah. It's also a good like advice to give people listening in right now. Focus on like the actual numbers that matter because internet points aren't
Yeah.
getting you anywhere, I guess.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people won't remember, but like the internet used to be this, like, there used to be so many websites for everything, and now that it's insane how building my website and stuff, it's insane. I've learned so much of the internet is run by Google, Amazon, and Facebook.
Right.
Like you websites you go on that you don't even know is being run by Google, is run by Google. I don't mean owned by Google, but like plugins and domain services and servers
Yeah. They,
and all that stuff. But the internet used to be this, like, there was stuff everywhere and all kinds of different weird websites like in the 2000s, and um hopefully it gets back there. So make your own thing while you can. Make
mhm.
your own thing. Tell people to go on your mailing list or on your website rather than asking them to like follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
That would be my advice. But it's very easy for me to say that when I have 90,000. So
Nah, yeah, I get what you mean, man.
it's hard.
Yep.
But it'd be harder if you're watching this thinking like this guy's got all these followers and he's saying it don't matter and I'm struggling and blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
sorry if I sound like an idiot.
All right. I think it's a good way to like wrap it up here, and
Yeah,
because we're like 1 hour in right now, so maybe we'll have a little bit of a couple of cuts in there, but we'll see.
yeah, you're gonna cut out
All the swear
all the
words.
stuff I said. Ah, sorry. I'll do it. If do you want me to bleep it or just mute it?
Oh no, it's okay. We'll I'll take care of it.
No, no, it was me who swore. I'll do it. I don't mind. If you just tell me to bleep it or just mute the swear words, I'll do it. I don't mind. But it's up to you.
All right.
Um, I've been sat here since you said it. I went and copied and pasted that message about harvest some good horses, and I'm gonna put that on Twitter now.
Awesome. Uh,
Um,
all right,
yeah,
man.
thanks for having me on anyway, mate.
Yeah,
It's good to catch up. Good to
definitely,
speak to you.
definitely, man. I'll if
Oh,
sorry.
I'll tell you, you can leave this in if you want. Just for the camera, I do have trousers on now, but in the first episode I did with you, it was so warm, and I was in the loft in my house, which like gets boiling hot during the heat wave. So on the first Dreadlabs podcast that we did together, uh, I had nothing on from the waist down. But it's
Oh,
up to you whether you want to include that in the episode or not, because I'm still recording.
okay. I'm definitely gonna I'm keeping it in. All right. All
But
right.
yeah, really good to speak to you, mate. I'm sorry if I've kept you like if you're supposed to be doing something else.
Oh no, that's okay, man. It's okay. I blocked in like an hour of time, so we're not overtime or anything. But anyways, if
Cool.
uh,
Yeah.
if you want to follow Jack, I'll put the link to all of his socials and his newsletter and everything like that in the description.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
with all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. And Jack, thank you for having this call with me.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's good to speak to you.